The year 1970 represents the absolute zenith of the American muscle car. It was a time of glorious, unapologetic excess, a final, brilliant supernova of horsepower before the darkness of emissions regulations and the oil crisis descended. In this peak year, every automaker brought their most powerful weapons to the fight. But one car, from one manufacturer, would rise above all others. It was a car equipped with an engine so powerful, so brutally effective, that its official horsepower rating was considered by many to be a work of fiction. This was not a lightweight pony car or an exotic sports car. This was a blue-collar, intermediate Chevy, armed with a big block V8 that produced more power than anything else on the street. It was a machine that could, and did, hunt down and defeat the most legendary names in the business, including Ford's seemingly invincible Boss 429 Mustang. This is the story of the undisputed king of the muscle car mountain, the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. To understand the monumental impact of the LS6, we have to rewind to the years leading up to 1970. For most of the 1960s, General Motors had a strict corporate policy in place. No engine larger than 400 cubic inches could be installed in any of their intermediate-sized cars, like the Chevelle, GTO, or Cutlass. This was a source of immense frustration for Chevrolet engineers, who watched as Ford, Chrysler, and even their corporate cousins at Pontiac, who cleverly bent the rules, stuffed massive 427, 428, and 426 Hemi engines into their mid-size cars. Chevrolet had the firepower. Their legendary 427 V8 was dominating in the Corvette and full-size cars, but their hands were tied when it came to the Chevelle. Then, for the 1970 model year, the dam broke. GM finally lifted the cubic inch ban, unleashing a furious internal arms race. Chevrolet's response was immediate and overwhelming. They didn't just match the competition, they aimed to obliterate it. They took their big block V8 and stroked it out to a massive 454 cubic inches. This new engine would be offered in two forms. The first was the LS6, a potent, street-friendly version with a hydraulic camshaft rated at a very strong 360 horsepower. It was a fantastic engine that could hold its own against most rivals, but the LS6 was just the opening act. The main event, the engine that would become the stuff of legend, was the RPO Z15, better known as the LS6. This was not just a bigger engine, it was a barely tamed racing engine, built for maximum power and absolute domination. The LS6 started with a heavy-duty 4-bolt main block for incredible bottom-end strength. It was filled with a forged steel crankshaft, forged steel connecting rods, and high-compression forged aluminum pistons that squeezed the air-fuel mixture to a volatile 11.25-to-1 ratio. The real magic, however, was in its breathing. The LS6 was topped with massive, rectangular port cylinder heads that featured huge valves and were designed for maximum high RPM airflow. Sitting atop those heads was a high-rise aluminum intake manifold and a massive 800 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor. Tying it all together was a radical, solid-lifter mechanical camshaft. This wasn't a quiet, smooth, hydraulic cam for cruising to the grocery store. This was a lumpy, noisy, high-lift cam that only truly came alive at high RPMs. It was an engine that meant business, and you could hear its aggressive intent from a block away. The official factory-rated output for the LS6 was a staggering 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. This made it the single highest horsepower engine offered to the public during the entire classic muscle car era. But even that incredible number was a lie. Most experts and engine builders of the time agreed that the true output of a stock LS6 was likely closer to 500 horsepower. It was, for all intents and purposes, a street-legal Can-Am racing engine. When this monstrous engine was placed in the handsome, newly redesigned 1970 Chevelle, the result was breathtaking. The Chevelle SS 454 LS6 was a weapon. It could be ordered with either a heavy-duty, close-ratio Muncie M22 Rock Crusher 4-speed manual transmission, or a specially calibrated Turbo 400 automatic. Power was sent back to a mandatory 12-bolt rear axle, often equipped with aggressive gear ratios like 3.73 to 1 or 4.10 to 1. The package was completed with a functional cowl induction hood scoop. When the driver stomped on the gas, a vacuum-actuated flap at the back of the hood would snap open, feeding cool, dense air directly into the roaring Holley carburetor. The performance was simply mind-altering. A stock 1970 Chevelle LS6 on the skinny polyglass tires of the day could obliterate the quarter mile in the low 13-second range at over 108 miles per hour. With a simple tire upgrade to modern rubber, these cars can easily run in the 12s. This was supercar territory in 1970, a level of acceleration that few cars on Earth could match. This brings us to the Boss. By 1970, Ford's Boss 429 Mustang was a legend. It was a limited production, hand-built homologation special created specifically to legalize Ford's semi-hemispherical engine for NASCAR racing. It was an exotic, high-winding, and incredibly powerful car, officially rated at 375 horsepower, but likely making much more. On the street, the Boss 429 was a fearsome competitor, a car that commanded respect and rarely lost a fight. But the Chevelle LS6 was a different kind of animal. While the Boss 429 was a high-strung, high RPM race engine that needed to be revved hard to make its power, the LS6 delivered a tidal wave of brutal, low-end torque. From a stoplight, the Chevelle's immediate, neck-snapping torque gave it a significant advantage. In numerous period magazine tests and countless real-world street encounters, the Chevelle LS6 proved to be the superior car in a drag race. It was heavier than the Mustang, but its sheer, overwhelming horsepower advantage was simply too much for the Boss to overcome. The king had been dethroned, not by an exotic special, but by Chevrolet's mainstream, mass-produced intermediate. The LS6 was available not just in the Chevelle, but also in the El Camino, and a handful were even factory-installed in Corvettes. But it was in the Chevelle that it found its most iconic home. Chevrolet sold a respectable 4,475 Chevelles equipped with the LS6 package in 1970. While this doesn't make it as rare as some limited production Mopars or Fords, it was a one-year-only phenomenon. By 1971, compression ratios were dropped across the industry to comply with new emissions standards, and the mighty LS6 was detuned and neutered, a shadow of its former self. The party was over. Today, a genuine, numbers-matching 1970 Chevelle LS6 is one of the most valuable and sought-after muscle cars in the world. It represents the absolute pinnacle of the horsepower wars, the moment when a major American manufacturer put its most powerful engine on the option sheet and dared the public to buy it. It was a car that feared nothing, a big block beast that could outrun a Boss Mustang and cement its own legacy as the most powerful muscle car of all time. It was, and remains, the king.